Morning, people. Yes, I am out here doing my laundry using the extra water that we get from the rain, trying to make sure that I use the rainwater. Okay, and I'm here with my cat. Hey, the cat is back to drink her milk. There he is drinking his milk. So what's the plan, guys? So now the idea is to recycle water that has come from the rain. This is the water. It looks brown, but it's not really. It's quite clean. My plan is actually to do my laundry with this water. A lot of water comes and goes to waste in Africa. So I want to change that. Yeah, I've always wanted to recycle. I've always been the type of person to recycle stuff. So let me do my laundry, okay? Today you're spending the day with me. Today I'm going to do laundry and then I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do next. I'm thinking of probably going to my cousin's place actually to take her a gift. She actually invited me to her birthday and I didn't make it. So it's not her fault. She, incurred expenses inviting me. So I'm going to go get her a gift and take it to her. But it's a surprise. Okay, so let me wash these.
The King of Sobada, 2020 and beyond. I imagine Africa will be if women are given the opportunity. This is the time to balance the gender inequality and stop discriminating against women who are in the simple majority. For the sake of humanity, let's give our women the opportunity, because they have the capacity to lift the continent from poverty. Africa, give women the opportunity. Africa, give women the opportunity. Africa, give women the opportunity. We are due to discrimination in terms of women participation. So let's invest in girls' education so we can increase their representation. Empower the African women to do their best for their nation, so because they have the capacity to lift this continent from poverty. Africa, give women the opportunity. Africa, give women the opportunity. Africa, give women the opportunity. It is so sad. It is so painful. African women have no reputation, even in their quest to serve their nations. Face opposition, discrimination. They go through intimidation, humiliation, and sometimes condemnation. But now, let me tell you, the African woman you see is capable. So make you give her the maximum respect. Never ever underrate and attribute all her hard work to sex. In fact, if we really want to progress Africa, then let us involve them. Let's revise our lessons and change the negative perception that the place for the woman is always the kitchen, but the
guys,
woman
I'm done with my washing.
as a blessing also
Now
as
I am
somebody
free
who can
to
do
enjoy
more
myself
things.
to
Don't
plan
forget
a
what is
great
good
day.
for who's.
Thank you for spending time with me washing. Cheers. So that was my morning routine. I feel good. I've done some exercise. Oh, my heart is beating. That means that I'm not that fit. Guys, yeah, this is where I stay. I still live in my suitcase. Yeah, put it up on my bed because I don't want to imagine water coming into this room at night. Hi guys, welcome to my humble abode. I'm just about to have my breakfast, something very simple. I'm just having chai, which is tea, yeah, Kenyan tea. Have some toast with peanut butter. Haha, yeah. So that's what I'm going to have for breakfast. So welcome. I told you you're going to spend the day with me, the whole day today with me. You understand, guys, that I'm living out of a suitcase because I'm not at my house. My house is in Mombasa, I'm actually here spending time with my sister. And I've really had a really nice time with my sister. I'm actually so happy to spend time with her. Because, to be honest, when you live abroad and when you get married, and now you have a family and you have a husband and children, it's rare to ever find time to spend with your siblings. So I've spent about almost a month with my sister because initially I had gone to take care of my mom and my dad. But I need to tell you guys something. I went to take care of them. I actually relocated from the UK to take care of my parents because I got this urge, a sudden. It wasn't sudden. It was something that was coming on and on and on. And I kept telling my husband, I said, Joseph, Jose, I call him Jose. I keep telling him, Jose, my parents are old. My parents are old. I worry, I dread to get that phone call that your parent is not here anymore. So I decided I was going to go and at least spend time with them, even if they're not sick or anything, just spend some time with them. I told myself I'm going to come between 3 and 6 months and come and look after them. Because, when people get to their 80s, going to 90s, either they're losing their mind or they're getting frail. So when I came to look after my parents, unfortunately, within 6 days of my arrival, as you guys remember, he fell ill. And not just ill, he fell very, very gravely ill, to the point where he didn't know where he was or what he was doing. So I had to rush, and I was the one who had to take him to the hospital. That taught me a lesson, guys. That taught me a lesson. If ever you're living abroad and you get this urge to go home, I keep telling you this all the time, just pack your suitcase and go home. I did something more crazy, I actually sold something that I had so that I could afford to come and stay here for that long without working. Yeah. And so I sold my car. And it's sad, but it's okay because my husband doesn't drive anyway. The main issue, the greatest disappointment, however, was that when I arrived in Kenya, actually my parents were not ready for somebody to come and take care of them. It takes a mind shift. That's one thing. I asked my dad at one time long ago, although he's almost 90 years old, I asked him, when are you ever going to accept help from your kids? When are you going to ever accept help? Because what tends to happen is that people will go to the house, and I'll tell you guys the truth. People will go to the house and wonder, where are the kids? Where's everybody? But what they don't realize is that these people, the parents that we have, are extremely, what do we say? They're very protective of their boundaries, our parents. My father went to school in the UK. So dealing with my father is like dealing with a British man. I won't lie to you, by the way. It's like I'm dealing with a British African man. In some ways it's good, and in some ways it's not. The part that I find that's good is that my dad is a gentleman. He's always been. He's always treated my mom well, treated us well. He's always been that man who is reliable, dependable, a person of his word, not corrupt. That's his dad. That's not to say that Englishmen are not corrupt, but I'm talking about the old Englishmen, the person of the 60s, those guys, when they went to school, when they went to university, he went to university in the UK, so dad is very British in his own way. Mom, on the other hand, is exactly the same, yeah? Because my mother actually appreciates that lifestyle. She likes that lifestyle of, she likes that lifestyle. So my mom, you'll never find her in a women's group. She's not a typical woman. Those women that you wear a headscarf like even me, she would never appear on camera in a headscarf. That's my mom. She has to be, well put together before she appears in camera, which is okay. And I like that about her. I really like that about her because even as my mother, unfortunately now, is suffering memory loss, okay? And even with that, you'll see her do her very best to coordinate her clothes. Like if I tell her, why are you wearing socks? She'll say, well, anyway, this brown is matching with this brown. She's always been extremely stylish, very, very stylish. But dad, on the other hand, he's always been the gentleman, scientist. So, and my mom was a teacher, and they guard their privacy jealously. They don't like anybody to live with them. Nobody's supposed to live with them. Nobody's supposed to come in the house and cook for them. They say they can do everything themselves. Have you guys ever heard of somebody who's 90 years old doing everything for themselves? So, me, who thought that I was going to come? I hear a lot of noise in the background. I think I might have to use my microphone, yeah? Or should I shut the window? No, go shut the window. As you saw from earlier, guys, it's bright and sunny outside. I didn't even bother shutting the window because it looks like they've gone away anyway. So this is not a rant. This is just to let you know that I am actually not staying anymore at my parents' house because I could see that I was kind of getting in their way for their privacy. And at some point, my father would actually make very strange comments like, oh, you know what? You don't have to really worry because the fridge is completely full. I'll be like, what? He says, well, the fridge is full. There's plenty of food. oh, we're moving, we're going to Mombasa, we normally have our neighbors looking after the compound for us. We don't really need. It's kind of like what happens in African tradition, which is very, very, very bad, is that it can be very damaging to women, is that if you get married as an African, usually they will tell you, okay, you no longer have a house, you no longer have a room in this house. This home doesn't belong to you. Yeah. And my father has said it before to me once, and I was like, I can't believe he said that. But I didn't take him seriously. That what, you can have this kid that you had all your life, but when you get married, your father's home, you cannot just go and look after your parents. I've seen this happen. Like, for example, I used to really admire, I'll be honest, I really used to admire my Nigerian friends, my sister and I as well. My Nigerian friends, because what would happen is that when I was in school in the university in the US, I had lots of friends from Nigeria, from West Africa, and what would happen with them is that once they have their baby, their mother would come and stay with them for even a year. Even in the UK, they do that. But in Kenya, it's completely different. And with my culture, it's completely different. In my culture, my mother and my father cannot come and stay in my house as a woman. They can go and stay with my brother and his family. But my father and my mother cannot come and spend, my father, first of all, cannot spend one night in the house of my husband. Think about that. Unless maybe he doesn't know himself. Maybe he has traveled and he's gone to the hospital and he has no other way. But either, my father is adamant. You will have to find him a place to stay. Yeah, you will have to find him a place to stay. So, like a hotel or somewhere like that. He will not come and stay with you. No way. So in those days it was fine, but in this day and age it's very expensive. Can you imagine that my parents cannot come to visit me in the UK? They can't because of tradition. Because if they come to visit me in the UK, it means what? It means that they have to come and live with me. They can't do that. Tradition bars you from doing that. As much as I understand the boundaries, I think it's not practical anymore. There are some things which are just not practical. So what I've decided is just to leave them alone and let them figure it. Let them figure it out. I'm sorry guys that I'm always showing you the same clothes. It's because, remember, I came with one suitcase. I'm recycling these clothes every time. As long as I'm in Kenya, you're going to see me in mostly the same clothes because I don't see myself actually going to go shopping. I don't see myself going to shop, maybe for tops, because after all, what's the point? After all, if I want to travel back, I can only travel with 20 kilos suitcase. So why should I kill myself going to buy clothes and I don't know what? No, in fact, I'm trying to do my best to keep the clothes that I have and recycle them. So you'll see me in mostly the same clothes when I'm here in Kenya. Just don't get tired of me. So like I was telling you guys, this is just tradition. And it's something that just, it hurts a lot because you see, when I'm in the UK, I've had so many job offers. For example, so many people are looking for carers, but I refuse to do it. You know why? Because I have elderly parents already. I don't want to do caring for other people's elderly parents when I have my own. I have my own that need me. Although they're very lucky that they're not bedridden. They, are still quite independent. Although they're in their early and late 80s. They're very lucky, but I shudder to imagine what would happen. Because it's not just me, it's also my siblings, So I don't want to speak for them, but I know how frustrating it is. I have a brother who's a doctor. I know how frustrating it is for us. It's extremely frustrating. And unless you're in our shoes, you'll never understand it. You'll never understand it. I always wonder to myself, what do people think? People who are on the outside, what do they think? These kids, they don't care about their parents. Yeah, we are only 3 of us. Just me and the firstborn, then my sister, and my brother is the last one. My brother is actually a doctor. My sister, she did an MIS, but she does her own business. And myself too. Okay, I'm a consultant. And I've always been a consultant, although I haven't been recently. I haven't been working recently in that field. Okay? Been just trying to find my way because I got married and my husband has 2 young kids who I miss actually right now. In my culture, we have a saying. The saying goes like this. It says, Kumagara ne kuhiga, or Woshera ne kuhiga. Kumagara means to venture out is to become wise or to become knowledgeable. Woshera ne kuhiga, to visit is the same thing. Either to visit or to venture out, to go out, and now I'm going out. So I'm going out to get intelligent. So I'm asking you to visit me and become intelligent. Let me also visit you. We can visit each other right here on YouTube. You can come to my channel and you can ask me questions. You can chat with me, engage me. And even if I look very serious, talking about very serious things, I have another side of me. Okay, this is the other side of me that is very interactive with people. I love chatting and I love talking about things that are of importance or things that, you know, will help people. I'm not too good at gossiping. I don't mind. Maybe if gossip can help you learn something, that's okay. Yeah. Gossip for the sake of learning or for the sake of helping someone, you know, that's okay. If you want to talk about someone's situation so that maybe we can try and fix it, or we can talk about someone's situation and maybe learn from it, learn something positive, not mock them or not expose them unnecessarily. You understand? But the idea is if you want to talk about someone else, that's okay. That's how you learn. You learn from other people. So you talk about me, that's fine. Talk about me. You'll learn. You'll see the things that I did right. You'll see the things I did wrong. Yeah. One of my regrets I can tell you as a parting shot is that the least that I should have done, because I did buy some land, okay? The one thing I should have done was to actually put up a structure on my land. Yeah. I should have put up a structure on my land. It doesn't matter what type of structure it is, but I put up a fence and then it was stolen, unfortunately. And it cost me a lot of money to put up that fence. But I should have put up, once you buy land, when you're buying land, make sure that the lesson that I learned from buying land is, when you buy land, leave some money for water, for fencing, and for a little house for your worker. So buying land in and of itself is not enough. I would say don't even buy land unless you have enough money to fence it, okay? Put a fence around it, to get water if it doesn't have a water source, to get electricity if it doesn't have an electricity source, and to put up a structure. So what you could do is perhaps maybe borrow the money instead of paying all the money at once. Borrow the money and pay it in bits. That's what I would do if I was employed. I would borrow some money, pay most of it, or pay all of it in cash if you have it, and then borrow money against that land, okay? And put up a fence around it, and put up a structure, put up a borehole. Very important. Do not own undeveloped land. Undeveloped land is high risk land. Yeah, very, very high risk. So I have land sitting there, just sitting there. And now I'm in a situation where when I could have done it, I did not do it.